Hi guys, welcome back to Jam Jam Productions presents Let's Talk Production. Today we are joined by Stea, the comedian. Ooh la la, fancy pudding. Hi Stea, how are you today? You feeling good?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Good?
I'm good. Like I said, nice and hot. I am absolutely dripping. I bet you are the same.
Yes.
um,
Stream stream hot weathers and the houses are not built for that, so
I
yeah.
know, I need a lot more AC in this room right now. So, for those guys out there who don't know yourself, just take 30 seconds to introduce yourself because I'm sure loads of people are going to follow you after this podcast.
I am a stand-up comedian, content creator, and you can find my stuff on my YouTube mainly,
Mm-hmm.
Stea Productions,
Yep.
in which I have more vlogs and a little bit of stand-up over there, some specials,
Mm-hmm.
so comedy specials. So yeah.
Where are you mainly performing at the minute? Is there some places people can come see you at the minute, or anything lined
Um,
up, like a regular routine or anything like that, or you've been playing different places at the minute?
I was living in Portsmouth, so I just moved recently
Oh, okay.
to near Croydon to be close to London and perform in the London circuit. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
just trying.
How's that going for you with the move? Have you
Uh, was busy and a little bit stressful. It's
Mhm.
still a long distance in certain way, but
Mhm.
yeah, now it all is set up and ready to go.
Yeah, no, yeah, I understand that you're saying about stressful. In what sense? In terms of starting again because you've moved, or in terms of being nervous because you've moved and you're trying to create that new fan base for yourself, or
No, I think it's more the part of I have OCD and I
Mhm.
like to have stuff in order, so I had to pack everything and
Mhm.
then unpack everything.
Okay.
So it was more that part of like, now I need to find place for all of this stuff. So it's a bit of
No, I'm the same. It's being very organised, very up to date on yourself. But at least you've moved, you've done the big thing. But have you got any performances lined up that people can come see you at?
I will announce. I don't know when this will come out, but for August I will announce on my Instagram, and
Okay.
I normally announce on the other platforms as well.
Mhm.
September I have a couple of them as well that I will announce as soon as everything is proper booked and
Yeah.
everything.
Of course, no worries. So if you hear that, guys, you can go to his Instagram, which is Stea Productions, and check him out and give him a follow and make sure you attend his live events. So you're saying about your content creation as well. How's that going for you, especially with the move? Have you been concentrating on
Uh,
that, or?
no, I've done a couple and
Mhm.
I've started dedicating a bit to like London content type
Mhm.
wise, trying to find stuff that is interesting to show.
Yeah.
I've recorded one yesterday
Okay.
in which I try to like show a little bit of London, like the free things that you can do for
Mhm.
a day. So trying to like do interactive stuff like that that can grab attention and seek new audiences.
Yeah, of course. And how long have you been striving for this? Have you been doing it a long time before you moved, or is this a new venture you're going down, or has this been a lifelong thing you've wanted to try, or
On what, the content creation or just stand-up
just
comedy?
in general? Because obviously it's all to do with performing, isn't it? With yourself being a comedian, the content creation, or is the content creation more of a newer thing you're trying, or?
No, the content creator started before
Mhm.
than the comedy
Yeah, okay.
because the pandemic happened, so
Mhm.
I couldn't perform. So yeah, I always had the joy of just having my camera with me.
Mhm.
I just didn't call it back then, even when I was living in Portugal. I just didn't call it content.
Mhm.
But I always had a camera with me, recording the stupid shit all the time and trying to. Even now, I'm trying to just pick it up some stuff, some old stuff,
Mhm.
and trying to renew into new, talking about it like because I have so much like from photography, from everything that is like, oh, I'm gonna make something out of this.
Yeah. It's always some. I find that sometimes you find some old footage and you go, "That's golden. I'm going to use that in this little project, and I'm going to take that and use it somewhere else." But no, coming from you're saying Portugal, was it to London? How's you finding it doing the comedy? Have you find there's a boundaries like a difference there, or have you find it translates well or anything like that? Have you found any difficulties there, or?
I found that is more easy for me
Mm-hmm.
to structure jokes in English than in Portuguese
Okay, that's
because
interesting.
I've did a couple of shows in the last summer and the
Mm-hmm.
summer of 2023
Yeah.
in Portugal, and I found it easy to just do it in English because here you can play with words
Mm-hmm.
because one word means a lot of stuff. In Portugal, one word just means one word, so it's different to play that type of comedy.
Right. Okay. I can see. I mean, that's a really interesting sort of thought from yourself there about the language treatment in two different countries. Have you been finding the sort of the audience is reacting the same to your content, or has it been slightly different? Or
It's slightly different, but I try to also adapt.
mm-hmm.
Even when I did Portugal, I just went on to storytelling, which is not my main thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I try to adapt of like, oh, this culture reacts more to storytelling, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go for it. Just trying to be a more complete artist and not just focus on one niche. Just try to be as much broad as possible.
Yeah, okay, so an all-rounder, you're really trying to develop yourself there, which is really nice to
Yeah.
hear. I did watch some of your pieces, especially the one about you were saying about you went to the shop and you saw someone robbing, and yes, I quite enjoyed that one. Um, need to get some more videos from yourself that I can watch. I think I'm just waiting for more content from yourself because I really enjoyed that one. So you didn't expect me to bring anything up, did you?
No, I always love when people like that one because that's one of my favorites. I didn't do that joke, that story, short story, let's call it that way, for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's every time that I played, I just enjoy playing with that. But not every crowd reacted the same, so I just decided to put online.
Okay, no, that's not a problem. And how would you say you doing the stand up and comedy at the minute? How do you feel you're doing? Do you feel like you need to push yourself to get more views, followers online, or are you more pushing to do the live performances, or how is it going with yourself? Do you feel?
I just try to create the content that I like, and if
Mhm.
that gets views, that's nice. But
Mhm.
I'm not trying to like, because I see other comedians just trying to do like stuff to get views,
Yeah.
and I'm like, no, I just want to do my stuff, just being myself, just hiking,
Mhm.
showing the world if I can, and if that helps getting the niche that
Mhm.
likes that, that's nice. If not, I'm just doing for myself.
Mhm.
And occasionally I get people that like the content. Other times I get haters that's like, oh, you suck. I'm like, yeah, sure. Have a life.
I
Um,
just loved your reaction. You're so okay.
because
You've got the perfect attitude for it though, because obviously my side of things as well. I get a lot of comments on social media things like, "What is the point in this? Oh, I didn't see her coming. Oh, you know, there is a lot of hate." How have you been dealing with that as well across social media? I asked in my previous podcast some of the other guys this as well, the same question. Um,
I just I feel that no one can tell me worse that I tell myself. So it's like, yeah, try better. I can do better than you. So it doesn't affect me. It's just like, oh, you suck. I'm like, yeah, I told that many times to the same joke. Don't worry.
I'll come up
So
with another joke. I promise. I promise.
I had one on TikTok that like the people just it got some good numbers and someone said, "Oh, you suck at that." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't like the joke either." So I didn't thought would do so well. So just deal with that. I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, "Yeah, I don't like it either." Is I think one of my worst jokes and still got a lot of views. So, yep, happens.
I find that sometimes the video that you necessarily go, I've got it, let's just post it because I have the content and maybe need something at that time. The video that you concentrate, maybe spend a lot of time on, a lot of thought and power on. Eh. Have you
And
noticed
the
that?
thing,
I've seen that on a couple times on my posts. Sometimes you don't know
yeah.
what's coming around the corner. I think is a great way
Yeah,
to put
and
that.
in that one, what made me laugh the most was just like people getting offended literally by a joke about shit,
Hmm.
and I'm like, oh yeah, I've told offensive jokes. You should be concerned about those, not a joke about toilets and shit. I think you're in the wrong spectrum of the stuff, but fair enough.
Well, that's the hard part of nowadays. Obviously, being a comedian, you do get really critiqued, don't you, of things you say and jokes you make. That's obviously a criteria of it now to take that sometimes backlash of just look, I'm a comedian. It's a joke. Take it as a joke. If you don't want to laugh, sort
But
of.
the thing is, like, when it's stuff like, oh shit, toilets, whatever, it's like, man, what do you find offensive about that? It's just like, I joke about suicide. I joke about that. Don't you find offensive? Oh, sorry. The toilets. The toilets are the thing that is bothering you. Sure. Yeah, sure. The problem is me. So-
It's your sickening humour of toilets. You've got some obsession. He sits at home just sniffing it, licking it, just. I like a toilet.
I don't know. It's just weird.
That's just going to be your next hour stand-up special, just talking about toilets. And your start of it is a warranty. I'm sorry, guys, if you want to hear something else about toilets, this isn't the show for you.
I don't think I can write that much about toilets, but I wish. I would do for sure.
So yeah, obviously we was talking about the creation. You're doing your stand-up and everything like that. You've just moved to town. Obviously it's very hot today and everything like that. Is there any, like I was saying, is there any goals you have at the moment? Because you've recently moved here. Is there any goals you have at the minute to grow your channels, or like I was saying, do get a particular venue that you want to play or anything like that, or
Just trying to be professional at comedy and entertainment. I don't truly care about venues. I just care about doing this for a living. And I have a couple of ideas of trying to do more in Portuguese, trying to do more in Spanish, and trying to do these 3 languages in stand-up. So I don't know if that's gonna be what makes me like be a full-time entertainment, but I'm gonna try to have like a different range than normal
no,
because
that's
I
fine.
enjoy the challenge.
Yeah, no, and you was obviously saying about that. What was that? Is that going to be more like live stream, sort of like TikTok lives? You do the Portuguese and Spanish videos on, or is it going
No,
to be
just
more
stand-up.
just normal
stand-up
stand-up? Yeah,
shows.
in clubs and
Yes.
things like that. Okay, and it's nice to say that you obviously want to be professional, going to professionally. Is it your full-time going to be your full-time job, or is it not at the moment, or
Not at the moment.
not at the moment? So you've still got to do them long, grueling days, and then
Yes. Yes.
that's the main part of it, isn't it? That you'd love to do it full time, you want to do it full time, but it's everything else that gets in the way, like work sometimes. How are you balancing that at the moment? Are you working full time, part time, or?
I'm just trying to find a job in cybersecurity at the moment, or technology. So that was what I graduated for.
Okay.
Was cybersecurity and forensics. So trying to find some job at the moment, trying to
Complete different ends of the spectrum. So cyber security, and then Saturday night I'm the
Yes.
comedian.
yes, basically.
You should definitely work that into some of your routines about the day job you do. That would be. I really think you could make some nice jokes up about that.
Maybe.
Hopefully not any true stories about it, but but no, it's like I said, it's really nice for someone like yourself to come on the podcast and talk to us about it, because we want a variety of people, and it's nice to know that you've what essentially gave you the move option. Was it a thing you was thinking about for a long time, or did you want to come to London thinking a bigger sort of fan base, or?
Was just because like the South comedy scene is it's not the best, and I couldn't have as much opportunities to perform. I had to travel a lot every time that I wanted to perform, and I just wanted something that I could perform like without traveling a lot of hours.
Right.
That's
Okay. So that was obviously a big factor for yourself when
Yes.
you had to travel quite a while to do essentially your passion, your love. I suppose why when you got the gig you was willing to do it every night, but I understand why you'd want to move and be a lot closer to be able to perform.
yeah. Because at one point in time I used to like travel almost every day from Portsmouth to Brighton, and was like 2 hours over there and then 2 hours to come back, and it's just like after a day of work it's just too much to deal with it. So I just want something close that I don't have to go on a train for 2 hours or even 4, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just
Especially doing comedy stand-up, if it is normally a night routine and it's a late night, I suppose getting back from those routines can be a little bit harsh, especially if you're doing a really late slot.
yes.
Have you been? What would you say necessarily been a memorable moment for yourself? Maybe it's a show, maybe it's one of the jokes you told, maybe it's a moment that you had at a performance with an audience member. Is there anything that pops to mind at the moment in time for a really good memory that you have of performing?
I would say every time that I had myself to Cambridge, I love performing there.
Really? Okay.
And one of my first specials, my short special,
Mhm.
um, was recorded there. The crowds are just amazing. So every time I have the chance, I always enjoy.
Okay, okay. And the special is on YouTube, is it? For that one? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, for that one. So it's your favourite place to go. Is there anything particular about it? Is it just the audience you find better, or is it more involved, or anything like that? Or
I just felt that I could be a little bit more intellectual
mhm,
there, so the crowds could understand more the complexity of my jokes,
mhm.
and some of my stuff wouldn't work very well on the UK South comedy scene. So it was nice to have a break from that at that time.
Okay, no, that's not a problem. And have you thought of going to festivals or anything like that at the moment in time? Or is that something that doesn't interest you? Or
It doesn't interest me, to be honest. I prefer, if I can, to just travel abroad and go to perform to any other country.
hmm as long as they pay first class ticket, fly you there, put you up in the hotel. Honestly, I'll go. Don't worry about paying me. Just
Not, not really. I'm the type of person that is good with a backpack and just let's go. Just
enjoying life, traveling the world,
yeah.
seeing the sights, making great content, making great memories. No, I
Yes.
love your outlook on life at the moment. It just sounds fantastic. And
I always say to like my friends and even family that is like I don't need a lot in life. Just like a bag full of stuff to travel and just travel. Follow the road. Whatever it leads, I will be happy.
no, that's a really nice mentality because a lot of people now are obviously they love their possessions, they love their things. Some people go on
Yeah.
holiday and try and take everything with them. It's nice to hear from you. It's quite refreshing just to say, "Give me my backpack and I'll go, and I'm ready for you." And
And also like for who is watching on YouTube or the platforms that have video, you can see for my background that is very minimalistic.
mhm.
I don't have a lot of stuff, just the minimal to live, and that's it. That I'm fine.
Just the shirt I'm wearing that will last me till the end of the year. Christmas Day, I'll buy myself a new shirt for the year. I'm fine. Just
Almost that. Almost a hippie vibe. Get me a van and I will go over the country.
No, that's really nice to hear because, like I said, I've been working with quite a few people lately who are very, unlike yourself, willing to just put a backpack on and go, or go and film, or go and make something. They sort of get opportunities in, and then they kind of get scared, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Whereas, like yourself or myself, if I got an opportunity and I'd be jumping to it. If someone rang me and said, "Oh, do you want to do this?" I'd be great. When can I come? Tomorrow, next week? And other people, I'm
Yeah.
finding kind of the opposite. Even though they want to get into the industry, they kind of get scared when that opportunity comes up, which I can understand might be a little bit daunting, especially you've been waiting a long time for
Hmm.
something to come up. But for myself and you, it seems like you're ready to go, you're raring to go, and you're waiting for it to happen.
I think it helped the fact that like when I decided to travel to England, I didn't know anyone, so I just came with like a bag of dreams and is like let's try to make something out of it. So
My magical bag of dreams.
exactly.
Mmm. Stea and his magical bag of dreams special coming this fall. Watch now on YouTube. That's going to be your next
Yes,
comedy special, and you're going to use that clip as your promo.
maybe. But
What?
I think it goes a little bit on that when I decided to do that change of life, I didn't know what to expect. So from then on, I was like, oh, I already been able to go through this, so I
Mhm.
can do anything.
Mhm. And how is like friends and family? And that obviously, I know you said you moved and you're come by yourself, but were they supportive of what you're doing and things like that? If you're still in contact with them or things like that, were they supportive
Uh,
and?
they are very supportive, but still they are still trying to understand what I really do. So it's that mix of, yeah, we support you, but we have no clue what we exactly do. Like the best the best way to define is what like some cousins of mine said to me a while ago. That
Mhm.
was like sometimes we see your clips on YouTube or whatever, but we don't understand English. But people are laughing, so it must be fine. So it's
Thank you for the support. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Well,
so it
at least they are there for you, though. At least they're saying, "Oh,
yeah.
we don't understand it," but at least they sort of reached out to you and said that, and they've seen the YouTube video and
Yeah.
tried. I know some people who have a hard time, obviously that their family and friends don't necessarily believe in what they're doing, don't understand it, but at least you have that support for yourself when it's needed.
Yeah, and there's also fun. There's like every time that they say something is something that I never notice because I'm very focused on like the word that I'm saying. They're like, oh, you shouldn't gesticulate that much. You should look more for your hair. You should don't dance on stage, whatever. And I'm like, sure, okay, I didn't notice that, that's fine. But it's just like anything apart from the word that I'm saying, because it's like, yeah, we can't understand, so we're just focused on the other stuff.
Just prance around the stage more. That's what they're saying. They like it when you prance around the stage. Just you have to get you a big giant fan to blow your hair while you prance and all that.
Maybe.
But no, it's nice to hear that you're supported and things like that from that perspective, that you're not doing this alone, because it can be tough sometimes. But you sound like you're doing really well and you're really enjoying yourself doing it, which is the main aspect, and you're doing it out of love, especially if you've come all the way here for love of what you want to do.
But I feel that also there is that toughness still, even if it's not full size of it. Because when I say like, I want to do this, I want to do that, they still believe that I will need to work my entire life in a normal job and not just do this. So they're like, I don't think you can do just that. I don't think that's possible. So they also incentivize you to follow that, but at the same time it's like, just have a normal job, because that will never work out, or that is not, it's more of a side hustle.
See, now you're making them sound unsupportive. No, but I understand that from their point of view, I understand where they're coming from. They're just trying to say be sensible, aren't they? And sort of don't throw it all away and try and... But at the same time, I understand where you're coming from. It's your dream, it's your passion. This is what you want to do, and you have to try and go wholeheartedly for it. You've got to try and put as much as you can into it. Otherwise, it's not... If you go, I'll try that comedy thing.
And also, it's like they come from that time that is like, oh, the jobs that we know is like working a normal job. And nowadays society is more like, oh, I saw that YouTuber making a living out of I saw that. And you get inspired for something that is like, oh, that's not conventional. That's not...
Yeah, no, I understand, especially like you said, with the movement of YouTube and TikTok coming more progressive and Instagram moving forward, there is a lot more room for people to be able to make a living from, well, creation, influencing, comedy videos. It's why we're all here, essentially. I'd love to be able to make a full-time living from it, which I'm not able to do like yourself. I still have to work at the moment. To be able to put the lights on and buy the cereal in the morning. Yeah. It's a sad life, isn't it? It's a sad, sad life. But for me, I enjoy that process of working towards something, because it pushes myself harder, because then I want to sit there during the week and I try and push myself to things like try and push maybe one content video out a week, try and maybe edit something, maybe try and write something, maybe try and, like we are now, creating this little podcast to try and get things moving for ourselves and get ourselves out there. That's the main goal and the main purpose of trying to do what we want to do at the end of the day. But yourself being a comedian, I understand that it must be quite a nice high, especially when you're doing a live event and you've got a room full of people laughing. I bet that's an amazing feeling, being in front of the stage, especially when you do your Cambridge nights.
Yeah, and I prefer more like the stage time than like creating content, but also sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to create something, I want to go for this walk. But the thing with content creation, and you know that too, is just like putting that out there, and you are waiting for a feedback that can take a while. And I just enjoy going on stage and it's like, oh, this joke sucks, okay, the crowd didn't react. It's like a straight feedback, and I have that on the moment, while when I'm waiting for results of like, oh, this video gonna do well, the thumbnail is gonna do well, it's kind of frustrating sometimes and depressing. And,
100%, especially when you post something that you've been working really hard on and I think that's gonna do really well, and you look at it the next day and go, oh, there's like not that many views. or like me, that is just like minute after minute, it's like refreshing. Fuck, 1 view, refreshing. And it's just like, oh, this is depressing, this is not getting faster enough. In a way, we do torture ourselves, because you look at high-rise people who are on YouTube with maybe thousands of followers who do post a video and in hours it's bang, thousands of views.
Yeah.
We post something, you get maybe a trickle of 5 likes, and then maybe if you're lucky, maybe up to 15. Then after a week, it might grow. And I understand, like you're saying, I've had their moments as well where it can be a little bit depressing sometimes. When you post something, it doesn't really get the views you like, and you take it. For me personally, sometimes you take it personally because you've worked hard on that. You want to grow, you want to succeed, and when it doesn't go well, you're like, "What am I doing wrong? Why am I not growing? And where am I? Why am I not at where I want to be at?" But sometimes it's being seen, and sometimes on social platforms with everyone doing the same thing, it is hard to be seen sometimes with the right people who are going to interact with you.
Yeah, and I still have like sometimes some content that I'm like, oh, I wish that content did better, and I'm like just on that thought, like, and it's not healthy because then you're just like, just focus on the another one, and when I can, I'm just gonna record, edit, and then going out again record, just to not have that thought of oh, this could do better. I'm like, no, I just want to be out there recording something or doing something.
Yeah, it's a good mindset to have, to put the content out there and then move on to the next thing, and not stress and worry and tease and I can't even speak now. See, look, you're making me nervous. Oh, stop it, Stea. Oh, critique yourself over how many views and things you get, because you do wonder sometimes if you had the big platforms that some of these people have and you put that content out there, would it be received the same as how your current channel is? It can be tough sometimes, but at the end of the day, we all have to start somewhere. We all have to grow. We all have to use the equipment we're using and things like that. We can't always afford these amazing studios and cameras and microphones, and we all have to start somewhere. And at the end of the day, it only takes one viral YouTube, Instagram, TikTok video nowadays, it seems, like Mrs. Haktu. It's very true though, isn't it? It takes 30 seconds, and just look at herself now. Not that I've got anything against her or anything like that. I think she's done an amazing job with all of her fashion line and the things she's doing now. And but it literally does take 30 seconds of fame, doesn't it? Which is everyone's waiting for their 30 seconds.
Yeah, and you never know what's gonna be like the thing that gets you there. It's just like some videos you're like, oh, I'm really proud of this, and like you said, it doesn't get numbers. Others is just like, oh, I'm just gonna post it just to like get something this week, and then that gets numbers, and I'm like, I don't understand this. I swear, I don't understand. This is very weird.
That was exactly my fault. I posted like a behind the scenes video that I just had random clips on my phone for ages, and I put them together on Insta. I posted it, and it got more views than my previous video that I sat there for maybe 2 weeks writing, editing, colouring, playing with, and I wanted to cry.
I had like an early vlog that I'm still like, I hate the fact that didn't get through that much people, because in my opinion at the time was one of my best works. And I just put like 1 week into recording, was like a full 1 week recording, and then another week editing, just another full week editing, and then he got 30 views, and I'm like, I waste all my time for this. It was a little bit depressing during a time. I was just like,
I know. Sometimes as much love, effort and commitment you can put into something, it sadly doesn't always pay off, but you had the right mindset, as you said before, just, right, I've got to keep going, I've got to keep pushing, I've got to keep making people smile, and let's just make some more videos, live content and things like that, and keep pushing. But like,
sometimes I don't know about you, sorry to interrupt. I got like compliments that people don't write or like in the videos, whatever, and then in person they come to you and it's just like, oh, your video really made me feel well, and I prefer that sometimes than like the likes, but also would be nice for those people to like, instead of just saying...
I've had that a few times. I've gone to family parties and things like that, and then friends have come up to me and family and gone, oh, you look like you're doing really well and your content's really great and stuff. And I'm like, what? You guys watching it? Yeah, we all watch it. I'm like, well, where are you? You don't like it, share it, post it, comment. But it's nice to know that people, like you said, are watching your content, but they just want to remain hidden sometimes, and that's everyone's preference. Some people don't want to be known to like, share, see things, and things like that. But it was interesting for myself going out sometimes and people saying that, and I'm like, oh, okay, well that's really interesting. It gives you a little bit of a boost of like, okay, people
Yeah.
are enjoying it, because otherwise you know your friends. If you went out with your friends and they went, cool, that
Yeah.
last video, that was oh, did you not? Just don't do that again. You know, they would tell you if you wasn't doing a good job, wouldn't they?
Yeah. But I realized that in my end when, like, I did a small festival of comedy in my town.
Mm-hmm.
And when I announced, I was like, oh, I'm doing in my town, because I normally don't do festivals, but because it was my town in Portugal, I was like, oh, that's a little bit special. I will open to do like an outdoors event.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone that came to the event was because they saw my stuff or were watching my stuff, and that kind of made me proud and happy. Was like, oh, after all, I'm doing fine. I have these 200 people that watch my things once in a while or something and had the curiosity to see me performing in Portuguese. That's quite nice.
Yeah, it's it's like an emotional roller coaster. I'll say that, isn't it? You'll do an event like that, you'll have a really nice high, and then a week later, post a video, get no views, and then you're back to depression. And then you post another video that out of the blue gets a few likes and comment, makes you happy again. And then you might do something, and then it's gone back down again. Never mind, I want to quit. And then you're back to a high again. Being sort of someone like ourselves, really trying to push and get into the industry, it can be an emotional roller coaster, right? From my point of view, I'd say.
And I think we truly need to like just post it and leave it and go do other projects, because it's totally not helpful. It's having that mindset.
You can't do it.
I don't have enough budget, that's the problem.
You can't do it. You've got to look and see how many views you've got.
I feel that if I had enough budget, I wouldn't give a shit about the views. I'm just like, I'm doing this trip now. Yeah, see you later.
Yeah, no, for me, I like to check mine, because sometimes you do get some the trolls on this sort of thing who leave some nasty comments, and sometimes it's just unwarranted, and sometimes it isn't even about the content you've made. They just want to be a troll, you know, just because they get some appraisal from it. I don't know what they get from it, but so I just make sure I'm on there and, you know, delete, bye bye.
Oh, I don't delete. I just comment positive stuff.
Thank you for your reply.
Yes, I'll be available in the next 24 hours. Please contact me back. I just love trolling them back. They are wasting their time. I'm wasting their time too.
They just send you a massive paragraph. You go, great, I'll send you one back.
Yeah. Because like sometimes when I do that on the trains when I'm getting home. I'm like, oh, I have 30 minutes to burn, so I'm just gonna reply to all of this. Until the next station, you guys are gonna take a lot of commentaries back.
Oh, you're a madman. You're fighting fire with fire there. I'll say that. You're fighting fire with fire. No, see me, I'm the complete opposite. I just don't want to give them the time of day. I just want to get rid of them. Bye-bye, and just... Like, fair enough, it was constructive, like, oh, that wasn't filmed the greatest, or that audio wasn't the greatest, and you go, okay, fair enough, but when they're just trying to be like, I don't like your hair, your glasses that make you look stupid, so, please go over there and face the wall.
Yeah, I had one when I was putting a show together in Southampton, that like I was posting a lot of clips to trying to attract for sales of the tickets, and one guy said like, oh, I wouldn't even go for a show for free, and I'm like, oh sure, so you're not coming to Southampton for this specific show? Oh, so I just comment like that, and I'm like, I'm having the best time of my life. You're not gonna believe it. and then I have my friends that have a lot of fun reading my comments. Like all the comments are like, you are mad. You're just crazy on reply to this.
See, there you go. There's another stand-up show for yourself. Just reading out your comments and your replies.
I wish.
But no. Like I said, It's really nice to talk to yourself. I'm really glad that you've come on our podcast, Stea. Obviously, anyone who's listening, go to Stea Productions across YouTube, Instagram, and all that. Make sure you follow him, catch up with his content. It's been nice to have you on the channel, and I hope everyone who's listening has really enjoyed Stea. I said check him out. He's a great comedian. He's got some nice content out there. Apart from that, guys, have a great day and just keep smiling. Bye bye.